Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving headfirst into a steaming cauldron of geopolitical hot mess express international border disputes. These aren't just lines on a map, folks. We're talking about historical grudges, simmering tensions, and the kind of bureaucracy that would make Kafka want to crawl into a hole and die. From the mountains of Kashmir to the bustling riverbanks of the Rio Grande, these disputes shape the lives of millions. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Let's kick things off with a rivalry for the ages, India and Pakistan. The root of this problem? The British Empire's elegant solution to decolonization, drawing a line in the dirt and calling it a day. The result? The 1947 partition of British India, leading to one of the largest mass migrations in human history. The big cheese of contention is the region of Kashmir, claimed by both India and Pakistan. Both sides have gone above and beyond, constructing fences, installing floodlights and deploying troops. For the people caught in the middle, imagine living in a constant state of tension, your daily life dictated by a border that makes the Berlin Wall look like a friendly garden fence. Next up, the Middle East, a region so geopolitically complex it makes a Rubik's Cube look like a child's toy. At the heart of it all lies the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a territorial dispute that's been raging for over 70 years. It's a story of two peoples, both claiming the same land as their rightful homeland. On one hand, you have Israel, a nation established in 1948, claiming historical and religious ties to the land. On the other, the Palestinians, who see themselves as the indigenous population dispossessed and marginalized. The issue of Israeli settlements in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip complicates matters further. Beyond the political maneuvering, it's important to remember the human cost of this conflict. Imagine living with the constant threat of violence, your movement restricted, your future uncertain. That's the reality for millions of Israelis and Palestinians trapped in a cycle of conflict they didn't create but are forced to endure. When you hear border wall, your mind probably jumps straight to the US-Mexico border. It's become the poster child for border disputes, a physical manifestation of political rhetoric and social anxieties. But this isn't just about a wall, it's about people. The US-Mexico border stretches for nearly 2,000 miles from the beaches of California to the Gulf of Mexico. It's a region of stark contrasts, from bustling border towns to desolate desert landscapes. Migrants risk their lives crossing treacherous terrain for a chance at a future denied to them in their home countries. The economic impact of this border issue is undeniable. American businesses rely on migrant labor, particularly in agriculture and construction. And then there's the human cost: families separated, dreams shattered, lives lost in the pursuit of a better tomorrow. It's a stark reminder that behind the political rhetoric and the economic arguments, there are real people with real stories. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to the Korean Peninsula, a place where the Cold War never really ended. We're talking about the border between North and South Korea, a 160-mile-long demilitarized zone that's anything but demilitarized. It's a buffer zone bristling with weapons, a physical reminder of a divided nation and the ever-present threat of conflict. The Korean War may have ended in 1953, but technically these two countries are still at war. On one side, you have North Korea, led by Kim Jong-un, a man who enjoys missile tests and elaborate military parades. On the other side, South Korea, a vibrant democracy and technological powerhouse. For the families divided by the DMZ, the pain of separation continues, dreaming of the day when the border might finally open. Now we arrive at a border dispute that's become tragically unavoidable: Russia and Ukraine. This isn't just about land or history, it's about power, about one nation's ambition clashing with another's right to exist. In 2014, Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula, a Ukrainian territory with a majority Russian population. The humanitarian crisis in eastern Ukraine, where Russian-backed separatists have been fighting Ukrainian forces, is catastrophic. Millions have been displaced, cities lie in ruins, and innocent civilians are caught in the crossfire. The international community has responded with sanctions against Russia, but the fighting continues. as long as the border between Russia and Ukraine remains a battleground. The human cost of this conflict will only continue to rise. The images coming out of the region are heartbreaking. Bombed-out hospitals, children sheltering in basements, families torn apart by violence. Let's ascend to new heights of geopolitical intrigue as we explore the border dispute between China and India. Picture this: the Himalayas, the highest mountain range in the world, a breathtaking backdrop for a border dispute that's as icy as the peaks themselves. The bone of contention, a vast stretch of land along the 2,100-mile-long Himalayan border. Both countries have deployed troops to the region, and skirmishes are not uncommon. In 2020, tensions flared into a deadly clash in the Galwan Valley. China sees control of the region as crucial to its strategic interests. India is determined to protect its territorial integrity and counter what it sees as Chinese expansionism. Hold on tight, folks, because we're heading to the Caucasus region, a geopolitical powder keg where history, ethnicity, and religion collide. At the heart of it all lies the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the Nagorno-Karabakh region. This conflict has been simmering for decades, erupting into full-blown war in the 1990s and again in 2020. The international community has struggled to mediate a lasting peace, with Russia, Turkey, and the United States all vying for influence in the region. The 2020 war ended with a Russian-brokered ceasefire, but tensions remain high. Azerbaijan is eager to assert its control over Nagorno-Karabakh, while Armenia is determined to protect the rights of the Armenian population in the region. Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because we're heading into a geopolitical war zone, the border between Turkey and Syria. This isn't just a line on a map, it's a fault line where the Syrian civil war, Kurdish aspirations for autonomy, and Turkey's security concerns collide. For years, this border has been a porous membrane, a transit point for refugees fleeing the horrors of the Syrian conflict. Turkey views the presence of Kurdish groups in northern Syria as a direct threat. This has led to Turkish military incursions into Syria, displacing Kurdish populations and further destabilizing the region. The Syrian civil war has uprooted millions, creating a massive refugee crisis that has strained resources and fueled social tensions in neighboring countries, including Turkey. Hold on to your ouzo, folks, because we're sailing into the choppy waters of the Aegean Sea, where two NATO allies, Greece and Turkey, are locked in a territorial dispute. At the heart of this dispute lie a smattering of islands and islets in the Aegean Sea. These specks of land are a source of major tension, with both Greece and Turkey claiming sovereignty and control over maritime boundaries, airspace, and potential resources. Over the years, there have been countless rounds of saber-rattling and military exercises. Both sides have dug in their heels, refusing to compromise on what they see as their sovereign rights. While all-out war seems unlikely, the potential for miscalculation and escalation remains a constant threat. And finally, we arrive at a border that was once a symbol of peace and cooperation, but has become, thanks to Brexit, a source of renewed tension. The border between the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland. Before Brexit, this border was essentially invisible, a testament to the peace process that ended decades of violence in Northern Ireland. But then came the UK's decision to leave the European Union, throwing this delicate balance into disarray. The Northern Ireland Protocol, part of the Brexit withdrawal agreement, was meant to address this issue, but it's proven to be controversial and difficult to implement. The result is a sense of uncertainty and anxiety on both sides of the border. Businesses and communities grapple with the potential economic and social consequences of Brexit. So, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of 10 of the world's most pressing border disputes. We've seen how history, politics, and geography collide to create these flashpoints, and we've glimpsed the human cost of these conflicts. If you found this video even remotely informative, do us a favor and hit that like button harder than a diplomat trying to spin a border incursion. Share this video with your friends, family, even that neighbor you're pretty sure is building a doomsday bunker. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the complex and often hilarious world of global affairs. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and try not to start any international incidents.